Palupulimwe. Benvenuti nella giungla dei defunti. Questo è Impostore, the Rockstar. It's a fake Rockstar chat show. Pensieri Tangentiali. It used to be known as Tangential Thoughts chat show. Pausing the podcast temporarily just for a bit. Someone threw a couple of songs, Gihareh, see that Gus is right. Yeah, alright. Freddy versus Jason. Who wins? Freddy. Jason. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Hopefully this kind of works. Which is, I don't know where it's a loose committing to the task here. All right, let's just okay. You got a little merch. I made a t-shirt. Now I made a t-shirt. This is, it is October. It is spooky season. So the Scream of Fear t-shirt. I made like 3 or 4 of them. Different. There be slight variations between them, but yeah, the Scream of Fear t-shirt. We got a couple of versions of those. Feel free to purchase whichever one you like. And make sure you wear it. Do an unboxing video. You know what I'm saying? It's not a whatchamacallit, but with the shirt, go ahead and take off that. Where is the stitching of that? Just cut that off. And along the bottom too. And then, you get your Screamer Fair t-shirt, do an unboxing video. You might want to get it before Halloween though. You might want to get the Screamer Fair t-shirt before Halloween. The aesthetic still fits other times of the year. It's just some fly stuff, but we got a Screamer Fair t-shirt. I just had to mention that. Shameless plug, you know what I'm saying? I just gotta let y'all know I'm a fashion designer. We out here doing a couple of things. All right. So, let's do this. Now the poll says Freddy versus Jason. It's just like the Superman versus Batman. We know that Superman's supposed to win. Freddy versus Jason. We know that Freddy's supposed to win. So the poll is just there. There's a correct answer. It's Freddy. Anyway, it's 2025. It's 2025, and so what are we gonna do? It's October. It's 2025. It's October, bruh. I just have to brighten up the place. All right. 2025 is October, spooky season. Again, it's a loose committance to I don't know. I watched the first 30 minutes. I can really focus and lock in and, you know what I'm saying, this and that, but I just kept zoning out. It's all right. But we're gonna do a first 30 minutes recap, movie review, reaction. All right. Now, Freddy versus Jason, not Freddy, Freddy Krueger. Where does it all start? There's a book called 1984. Now, if you look at it, this movie premiered November 9th. Sorry. A man said something that was not straight. I must block this person. Ew. So, let's see. 1984. There's a book called 1984. I feel like y'all are rage baiting me. How in the world are people voting for Jason? I'm going to try to maintain composure here. Okay. In 1984, There's a book called 1984 that came out before 1984. Anyway, November 9th, 1984, Wes Craven, written and directed this movie called A Nightmare on Elm Street. Uh, just a joke. Some people will say Nightmare on Elm Street, and then some people will say Freddy Krueger movie. If you know, you know. It's a thing. All right. Wanna watch Freddy Krueger? We don't call it Nightmare on Elm Street. So, um, let's go through with a couple of these. I just did the first 30 minutes, so um, this was it's just so vintage and nostalgic. New Line Cinema presents. I just had to capture that. Now, a Wes Craven film. So, the movie starts off in a dream. So, one thing that you'll see is there's a person, right? There's a person, and they are making whatchamacallit. They're making, you could say like a welder. And you see this person sharpening the knives and putting together this. So at one point they call it finger knives, So that's how it kind of starts off. Starts off in a dream, and you don't necessarily figure his face, but you see a person is sharpening these knives and attaching it to this glove and then putting the glove on, right? So that's how it kind of starts off. And it's like this warehouse type of setting. The girl, she's in the hallway, and then the person is like calling her name, Tina. She's calling Tina, right? So then there's like this lamb that runs across in this warehouse hallway, whatever. Anyway, it's water sprinkling. She runs out of that. She's going through like this little, again, it's like a little warehouse type of machinery, whatever. Stuff is just going, that type of vibe going on. And then the figure appears, Tina. And, he's, one of the things was showing like the claws just going through like this, like a sheet or a blanket. Right? You see that a couple times, and he appears, and then he's scraping the finger knobs along the wall, and that is probably one of the most annoying sounds, right? It's you get a little bit of it in like a classroom where the teacher is like writing on the board, and you're like, whoa, like, and so like they actually like you let that do, like he's just dragging his nails, the finger knives, like along the wall, and it's that screech, right? So, it's that type of thing. He's coming towards her, and then she gets to a point. She runs to like a dead end, and then she screams. And then the person like kind of sort of like vanishes, and then she like moves forward, and she goes to kind of sort of like look for the character or whatever, and he pops back up behind her. So, I think she does I'm trying to figure out if there's a bit of running here. Or is that later? I think that comes later. So she wakes up. She wakes up from her dream. Her mother comes in. Her mother comes in and is like, hey, what's going on? And let me see what my next scene is that I have here. Oh, that's right, I just better use this one. Look at the vintage font. Look at what they were just doing with what they had. So then, so she wakes up from her dream. Her mother walks in and is like, you gotta, so you gotta cut these nightmares out. You know what I'm saying? Like, imagine that. Like, you gotta stop these dreams. You don't even have no control over the dreams, right? So you gotta stop this stuff with it. But her mother's like actually like checking on her and just trying to make sure, like, yo, like, what's going on and whatnot. And then her mother's boyfriend, like, yo, come back to bed. She like, she checking on her daughter. Then moves forward. Now, the thing is, from here, the next day, let me see if I have the next day. Yeah, I got the next day. I just thought this was, it's just nice to hear, like, how they used to talk back in the day. Like, so it's like movies like Grease, like, you cruising for a bruising, you know? So he was like, got a hard on this morning when I woke up seeing it. It was like, bro, unhinged, right? But I'm gonna keep this right there for them. So she's walking to school, you know, with her friends and whatnot. Well, actually, they just got out of the car. Now, one of the things is, so that's Tina, right? So she was the one having the dream, this and the third. We're kind of sort of following her. And so she's emphasizing, um, the fact that she had a dream, right? And so everybody else is trying to like, it's just a dream. Everybody has bad dreams. It's a nightmare. Like, you are, you see what I'm saying? Like, that's what they trying to say to her. Everybody just trying to like, she's making a big deal out of it. She's telling like, y'all, I had a nightmare, I had a dream. They're like, everybody has those. Like, it's alright. It's nothing really what you call it, right? And she trying to figure out, anybody else have any dreams? And you had a dream too? So one of the things is that her friend, like says like she had a dream, and she's like, well, what's your dream about? She's like, I don't remember. I'm not trying to, you know what I'm saying? And then based off of what one of the other characters does, well, actually, he's right here. She asked him about him if he had a dream, but he didn't really say nothing. But then he kind of like just brushes off and goes to class, right? So let me see. Now, what ends up happening from here, right? So she's the one who had the dream, where she's like making a big deal out of it, and like foreshadowing type of thing. He just kind of brushes off. She said she had a dream, but she ain't really. She's really brushing off too. And then he's in the back. He kind of he's the guy. He does play an important part in this now. Those two, boyfriend girlfriend, these two boyfriend girlfriend. Now, her mom came to check on her in the beginning. Her mom leaves, so her mom goes away, off to I think Vegas or something, with that boyfriend that was with her, right? So her mom goes away and leaves her home alone. Now she got the house to herself. She doesn't throw a big old party or nothing like that, but she invites her friends over. Just these two, the boyfriend girlfriend, right? She invites them to come over just because she don't want to, like, she's been having these nightmares. She don't want to spend the night alone. So she brings them over. Then they hear a little noise outside, but they like, it ain't really nothing. But then, of course, he's the only guy. So, of course, they have to go explore. They have to check this out. No, I think I heard something. Yeah, no, I think I heard something. Let's go check it out, right? Go outside, and then it's him, right? Yeah, yeah. We gotta do a freestyle. I'm gonna do the freestyle. I gotta finish doing let's focus. Keep on whatchamacallit. Thanks. Good luck, Chuck. But you ever watch that movie, Kill Bill, Buck, or the How Do They Fall, Rufus Buck? Sometimes you can feel stuck. We ran out of luck, no hockey puck, and duck, duck, goose, loose goose, Bruce. All right, just had to do a quick little freestyle. All right, thank you. Grazie, that's how you say thank you in Italian. Prego, that's how you say you're welcome in Italian. Appreciate you. Tapping in, tuning in. All right, we're kind of trying to sort of do this little horror-thon thing, kind of sort of maybe, just loosely. All right. So we got the first 30 minutes. Jason, I see where y'all coming from, but I be coming from somewhere else. I don't know. And it's like at a certain point in time, we do have a substantial number of votes, and Jason's still winning, but it's close. It's close. All right, let's do this. All right. Um, and let's see one more. In hand to hand, Jason takes it, but overall, Freddy can win with his power. It's a two-way street, so it depends on the setting and the context. You know, Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, which setting, which context, which stage are we gonna be in here? We can't. It's a disagreement. It's a disagreement. All right. No. Okay. We're back in this movie. Where we at? Oh, the sleepover. Then he comes to the sleepover. So he was like, "Your mom's not here." You know what I'm saying? And he was like, "Yeah, me and her got her mom's bed. Y'all got everywhere else." So I don't know. I gotta watch. I would have to watch a Jason movie. I would have to just watch a Jason movie, but I gotta try to finish something, do something with this. We watched the first 30 minutes of this one, so I gotta try to do something. Now, hold on. It's a debate. It's a debate. Hold on, hand to hand. Jason sleeps right on there. He takes. It's a lot of people's work. All right. All right. That's all right. We're gonna have to settle this. We're gonna have to actually settle this debate. All right. I'm gonna have to watch Jason movie. All right, right. Okay. So. All right. I'm trying to figure out. Let me focus on the movie, and then we'll just get back into this debate here. All right. So they sleep. He comes over. They in her mama bed, right? Them two. Oh, I had this scene, so I'm gonna just show it, right? This. He over there. Oh God. Oh. Like he gotta listen to them, right? He gotta listen to them. And then so she like, "You feel better now?" Jungle Man fix Jane. Yo, he had to sit there and listen to him. So, that's what happens. He was like, "Oh, the morality." So his girlfriend just go to sleep on another bed. He over here in his bed listening to them do what they do, right? So here's where things takes a turn now. So now they had a conversation, and before the girl boyfriend came over, they was having like another little conversation, and she said something about fingernails, and she was like, "Oh, well that reminds me of the person that was in my dream." And she was like, "Well, what did he look like? Was it not there?" He's like, "Oh, he had this sweater on, and this red and green sweater." And so she was like, and she's like, "Well, what about the nails?" And he said something. And so her boyfriend was sitting there listening to him, but he's still not, conceding to saying like, oh, confirming anybody or nothing like that. Then it goes from there. What happens from there? Then I say that to say, like the girl and the boy also like alluded to like the dream, right? So the thing is, at this point, you either if you've seen the Freddy movies, then you kind of already sort of know. But it's also just like one of the things that what they're trying to, elicit is the fact that all of them have had this same dream around the same time about this character, right? So this is where things actually take a turn, right? So Tina's the only one who's been vocal about it. Tina's the only one being vocal about it. So then Tina's the only one being vocal about it. Whatchamacallit, her boyfriend come over, and when her boyfriend come over, he over there trying to go to sleep and whatnot, but then Tina start having a dream. She hears something at the window gets cracked, she's exploring, and she starts to like, she goes outside, Freddy's here. And it's just shout out to their makeup, costume directors, and all that. You know what I'm saying? So Freddie, it was just well done. Like Freddie's makeup, costume, all that. You know what I'm saying? So one of the things is what ends up happening. Like they actually have this one little joint where like Freddie low key like peeks, kind of sort of like coming through the wall where the other girl's dreaming, but it doesn't get too crazy. But he pops up in Tina's dream. Pops up in Tina's dream, and it gets to a point. Tina went outside, and then he came back, and or she starts to like kind of sort of run back, and then she like trips, falls, whatever. Something with like a something happens like with the trash can or something, and then she's on the ground. So Tina's on the ground, and then it cuts to like then it cuts to what's his name? Her boyfriend name is Rod. He was sleeping in the bed with her. So then this is like the precursor to like the exorcism movies and whatnot, right? So Rod is just kind of, so he's watching her, but she like, help me, Rod, help me. And then like, so she tweaking. He pulled the covers, and she's still tweaking. But then it's, and so like you see that whatchamacallit, right? And it's that scratch that comes over her like stomach or something. And then so then it gets gory, it gets a little bloody, and it's like it's this is the this is what I would say would make like a movie cool, like, and this is what kind of sort of like instantly puts it up there as far as like with the whatchamacallit. It's because it's like, oh no, he fucking her up. You see what I'm saying? Like, so it's the beginning of the movie. Mind you, it's the first 30 minutes, and so it's one of those. Because sometimes, with a movie character plot, they scared to like let this character like go off or whatever, right? Off this character. In this one, it's not. She having this dream, and it's like, oh no, he fucking her up. No, he fucking her for real, right? So that's this whole scene. Like she getting drug up on the ceiling, and the dude just watching her, and no. I just put that as a poll. I just watched the first 30 minutes. Just it's October, gotta watch a scary movie. You know what I'm saying? So her boyfriend like, yo, like just that third. So it's like the acting is not top tier, right? And so all of this is kind of sort of like basic, and but it's still like the one thing I'm just sitting here watching it is just like of just like being that refreshing that memory is like he is like, oh nah, Fetty fucking her up right now. Like, and so um her boyfriend like, Tina, he in the corner just like, oh, and she on the top ceiling, and and then so they on the outside, the other two on the outside, they're like, yo, what's going on? This and the third. The door locked. By the time they get in, her boyfriend yells something like this. He yelled something like, yo, who are you? This and the third. But her boyfriend leaves. So then like now it's like the aftermath. And so her boyfriend leaves. It's like the aftermath. And so now her boyfriend's a prime suspect. Boyfriend is a prime suspect. The other two, they in trouble just because they were not supposed to be there and their parents thought they were somewhere else. So now they in trouble. But the one girl, her dad is actually a police officer. So he like, tell me what you was doing over there when this happened. And then like the girl boyfriend, he was already he just has a bad rep in the city for being like, because he went to biker boys, like grease, like leather jacket, he carried, you know what I'm saying? So he already got that type of vibe. And so they was like, they call him a lunatic, he crazy, this and that third. So his character just portrays him like he got a bad arc or whatever. Now the next thing is the girl. So of the characters, all four of them, the two guys don't really openly admit, you know what I'm saying, like that they had the same dream or whatever. They just kind of like they kind of say something or do something kind of like, oh, they kind of know what's up, right? But the girl, she actually kind of sort of admitted to like more than the other two. Like, okay, yeah, like I've been whatchamacallit. So this is one of those type of, as there's gonna be like a progression of like, okay, well, this is the first one that's gonna get, going after her, who will be the next target. And so the girl's the one who has right at this point would have been like the next one to been like, she kind of confirming, but she not really. And then she goes to school. So her mom was like, you don't gotta go to school. And then the boy, the girl's boyfriend, his name is Rod. Tina's done now. Tina's done. No more Tina, but Tina's boyfriend, like, he's a suspect. They looking for him. And then he just so happened to pop up on the girl. She trying to go to school. He jump out at her on the bushes and like, yo, I ain't doing this and the third. She was like, okay, but what about da? He was like, yo, I ain't see nobody. I just know it was somebody else in the room, da. So he telling her that way, but then it was like a setup and the police got him. So then he's in jail. Um, and then the girl that does go to school, again, her mom tried to say like, you didn't really gotta go. You was tossing and turning all night. You was having these bad dreams. She gets to school, and when she gets to school, uh, that Shakespeare, Hamlet, this just happens to be the topic of course or whatever. And she starts to fall asleep. She dozes off, and that phases her right into her dream. She sees her friend Tina get dragged, and she's like, and as a dreamer and whatchamacallit, she has to go explore. She follows the body that was dragged. There's this pool. There's a line that she can just follow. She goes down the stairs. She ends up like burning herself in the dream, and but she ends up screaming and whatnot, and it's just highly embarrassing. You're in class, you're in school, and they're like, "Bro, what's wrong with you?" Like, those. That's not something that you can't live those type of things down. Like in school, like if something happens, it's like, hey, bro, she might be a little crazy, bro. She was this and the third. Like, she like, yeah, I'm going home, this and the third. But then the next few Johns is you actually see she does have a burn on her hand from the dream. So it's that emphasizing what actually happens in the dream. Because for the most part, for us, it's like, nah, the dream, that is what it is. It's separate. It ain't never really true. This and the third, Whatever happens in the dream, don't. But now for them, it's like, oh, nah, whatever's happening is really like really affecting because she has that burn on her arm. So within the first 30 minutes, it ends up the next 30 minutes, she's at the jail and she's talking to, the boy Rod to see if he's seen anything. But he was like, yo, I ain't seen nothing. But she was getting slashed up right in front of me. So that's where the first 30 minutes, what you call it. So I just want to make sure I recap the movie. Now let me get into the chat. There was a back and forth here. Now I just decided to put up a poll. I decided to put up a poll just because it's Horror-thon. It's October. Watch scary movie. Da. Now I've seen some of these movies again, like when I was younger. But there's a difference from watching it when you're younger and then watching it. If you watch a movie before you're 10 years old, you kind of just, if it was good or bad, you don't even know. You just watched it. It just had your attention. And then if you watch it like as a teenager, you might remember a little bit more of it. But definitely as an adult, you have an entirely different take. And I think I've tried to watch this exact movie once before and just didn't finish it just because I just didn't feel like it. Something like that. You know what I'm saying? So kind of sort of is just one, just being a refresher. And then two, looking at things from a certain standpoint, perspective, and going from there. So because you're not gonna remember all the little intricate details. But one of the things I'm sitting here watching it now as an adult in 2025, and it's like, like again, I'm looking at it from another standpoint now. Because sometimes with watching a movie, like if you're a creator, if you're interested in acting and directing, because this is written and directed by Wes Craven, so it's like trying to understand that mentality of like, oh, you have this character and like what moves certain things. And so like one of the things that either as a viewer or something like that can make you a little upset is the illogical part. Like, bro, why y'all exploring? Why are you? And because one of those things is like you probably wouldn't. But if you sat there like in a dream state, certain stuff does kind of sort of make sense because like in a dream state, things just move forward. There's not. When have you ever had a dream for real for that kind of like it's stagnant or that you probably didn't? And because it's a dream, you had this more little courage and just like curiosity because nothing really comes of the dream and nothing really does happen. Like whatever happens in the dreams, so it's like there's a different type of what I'm saying approach to that. So that was one thing I'm looking at. The other part is that it's just like, well, the creation, the start, and of how you have this character. What is their motivation for doing X, Y, and Z? And right now, that's not something that is explicitly whatchamacallit, right? It's like, where, how does Freddy just, he's all burnt up and just out there. The first thing we see from Freddy is he's making, the finger knives and the gloves. So it's like, his motivation as a character and just the haunting of it, and it's like you're just thrown into this whatchamacallit. So I'm looking at it from an entirely different lens now. All right, so let me just go. I'm just going to check. I'm just going back through the chat here. So Chuck said that Jason was better. Wave says, and hand in hand, Jason says, "Well, Freddy can win with his powers to 2-way street." Now, that's what I was like. That was the last time I was saying like, well, it depends on the context, right? Um, and so Chuck says, does he sleep? So how you gonna get him? He don't sleep. John says, Jason, Jason literally can be put to sleep. And he can only drown. You gotta write me something for Jason to sleep. I've seen all the Freddy movies. No. So you watched the whole thing before? Again, so with the whole, have I watched this whole thing before? Yeah, probably yeah, as a kid, but I don't think as an adult, like me sitting here just trying to remember it, like I'm not, I don't know what happens next. You see what I'm saying? It's like you can sit there. I'm sitting here looking at certain things, but of the things that I remember from Freddy, bro, I just remember, and I'm not even sure. Like you sit here and remember certain stuff. I'm not sure which Freddy movie it is. It might be this one. It might be the fourth one. It might be I don't know. There's one. The only thing I remember, something got a waterbed. That's what I remember. I just know one of these Freddy Krueger movies got a waterbed. That be a thing. I don't know which one it is. But it's like I saw something when I was younger. Um, so it was like memory will be better now to be like, oh yeah, I do remember this and this and that and third. Um, Now I've never seen any of the Jason movies, so I don't know the lore, the story of anything behind Jason. It's the Jason kind of get mixes up with the Michael Myers, and I just know neither one of them runs. So what is the difference between the two? It'd be those I'd be like, what's the difference between Michael Myers and Jason? Neither one of them run. Both have a mask. One is Halloween. Don't nobody care about all that. Don't nobody care. We're talking about Freddy and Jason. We're talking about scary movies. It's Horrorthon. It's October. It's October. Jason drowned, resurrected. Camp Crystal Lake. Okay, so what's Michael Myers' story? Because it's like this one of those constant whatchamacallits. Summertime versus Halloween time. Michael Myers, Halloween. Jason, Friday the 13th. Halloween Town or Return of Calabar. I don't wanna be confused. 3 different storylines. Oh my fuck. 3 different storylines? Oh, they was talking about this last time. They was talking about Rob Zombies. Is somebody okay, so that director, I think he was a rock star or something like that. That's what they did mention. They mentioned that in the last stream. But they say his was good though. They said that Rob Zombie's ones were pretty good. So one of these is just The one logic is just to simply just watch the very first one, like where it just all start type of thing. But I think Michael Myers is Halloween. And because it's like trying to understand them, and what makes them like such the classics and whatnots. And somebody made a joke that was like, yo, I know he be running on them split scenes or something, but it's like neither one of them. And so it would be, it's homage who came first type of thing. It's homage who came first. Okay. So he's understood. And well, you would then try to figure out why, his motivation behind that. What was going on there? Oh, and so if that's Michael Myers. Jason. Oh, the camp. So Jason probably just has this whatchamacallit happen at the camp. And so he just probably has a story around that. Yeah, I'm gonna try to see. I'm gonna try to see which one I can try to like get through and go from there. Like, and so that was another point. Like, I just wanted to be able to make sure like I finish this. Jason's literally immortal. Same with Freddy. It was like a scenario they became best friends. Takes another approach. Like this is another answer. So that's what. Now see, once you made that whatchamacallit, it was that was the thing. We might have to really settle this though. I'm not sure. But that probably would have been a safer poll right there. Which one has the best, storyline, trilogy, arc, or whatever. Yeah, I know Fraser has a movie. I just want to make sure, like, it's October. I just want to watch some of these movies again as an adult from a different lens, and that's like whatchamacallit. So if I can get through this one, then it would be like Jason, and then it's just like trying to understand and make sure I know the difference between the two, and then to ask, well, which one is the best? Like that's another topic. That's another topic. Like which one is the best storyline? Like Jason versus Michael Myers. Well, why would that be any different from Freddy versus Jason? Most people don't even. Well, I'm not like again. That's why I was that's the one part that I don't kind of sort of like about like me right now. I don't like the fact that I'm not able to. You know what I'm saying? I don't have that movie knowledge experience to sit here and be like, oh yeah, boom. You know what I'm saying? That's another part of the reason like I want to make sure I can do this and like give, some type of accurate, better responses. But from what other people are saying, it I don't know. They don't put Michael Myers in the immortal realm. That's what I said. Like for me on the outside, it seems as if they almost basically the same person. It just seems as if Michael Myers and Jason is almost like interchangeable. Almost. That's why I was like, yo, I'm trying to understand. Like, I want to kind of like look at the original like stories, and arcs, and because like sometimes how just human psycho. Okay, fully human, just psycho. Or the Lord is those decapitation, and then one is, bro, Jesus. You see what y'all not saying is Freddy. These ones we got drowning, decapitation. Freddy don't have those type of things. You seen all the Halloween movies. I'm just glad, like, we can have this conversation and what's this thing called? We can have this conversation. It's October, so it's like horror-thon type of thing. But I know for sure I'm gonna have to whatchamacallit, cause we're trying to do this a recap with these, trying to do a recap with these all the way through. And but I mean the other thing is that even if I did break it down to 30-minute increments, the movie's 90 minutes long, so it's like sweet spot, you know. Yeah, that's why it's like that's why I made it. It's like Batman versus Superman, like knowing good and as well. Whatchamacallit. So the actual fair fight then would be Michael Myers versus Jason. But okay, but Leatherface is entirely different though. Isn't that Leatherface is what's the other movie? That was that movie was actually pretty good. They did a remake of it. And the remake was pretty good, or just an extension. Now that's not neither one of them. The Leatherface one is actually the other guy. Who's the who's the other guy? What's the other guy that don't really talk? What is that guy? There's the movie. What movie? Chainsaw. Chainsaw Massacre. Chainsaw Massacre. That's who. That's him. Chainsaw Massacre is the Leatherface guy. Chainsaw Massacre was a good movie. That was that even though the new one that they made, that one was pretty good. That one was pretty good. Leatherface is the Chainsaw Massacre. Chainsaw is actually pretty good. Chainsaw is pretty good. But this is trying to. I'm thinking about another movie now. But this other movie, I don't know which one that it. I'm not sure which one that is. That shit might be Jeepers Creepers, Cheapers. So but that one's like the original one be like in the desert. That joint got some desert vibes in it. Okay. The documentary might be worth. You know what I'm saying? Something to check out. Documentary. Yeah, that joint might be Jeepers Creepers. That joint might be Jeepers Creepers. But I remember some desert type joint. Another type. But I just remember a trailer in a desert, bro. I just remember a scene like that. But I don't know what movie that was. Real life Leatherface. Yeah, but yeah, when you mentioned it, it just made me think of the Chainsaw Massacre movie. That joint was pretty good. But Chainsaw Massacre the original Chainsaw Massacre might be pretty good though, is what I'm trying to say. I think that's what I was trying to get with when I said the original Chainsaw Massacre. Nah, I ain't never heard of Wrong Turn. But maybe I'm talking about the original Chainsaw Massacre. Like the remake, it is good for its time. The original Chainsaw Massacre, I think, had some desert type shit, desert vibes. I'm trying to remember like a trailer and some other junk. See, that'd be like with the one jump, bro. That's why I just think that psycho thrillers are way better when it comes to like scary movies, cause they can actually type happen. The other movies be like, you know what I'm saying? You can play off the fact that like, yeah, I ain't never really had no experience like this and the third, like that whole people sticking to the wall and all that other stuff. Them psycho thrillers be like, nah, there's a real person that really be doing jokes. Be like, oh no, this is just real life. I'm gonna have to check out that documentary. Cause that's what it'd be one thing for the scary stuff, but we really want to see like, oh nah, in real life they really do that. Yeah, Gene. What's the name of his documentary? I can just Google it. Hereditary. I feel like I've heard about Hereditary. I feel like I've heard of Hereditary. I don't know if I've seen it. I don't know if I've seen it. Freddie losing this conversation right now. I don't know if it's rage baiting or if it's actual logic or if logic has entered your chat or not. I don't know. Freddie lost this poll. I might come. I might throw it back up there, again. When I go to finish the rest of this movie or something. But um, could he come back? He can make a comeback, baby. Definitely a comeback, bro. Yeah, bro. I feel like I've heard of Hereditary though. I mean, it's October. I feel like we should do this though. Uh, I'm I'm all for it. Like just going through these movies, talking about these movies, and what I'm saying. Uh, like one of the Jones is we had talked about having like a horror-thon, and but you sit down. That's time to sit down and just sit there and watch all of these, and then react to them, recap, all of that. Review it. How good was it? For its time, did it age well? I think for me, when it comes to Freddy, they had showed something. I was like, bro, what is this? I remember one of the little CGI Jones, and I just was not rocking with it. But from the other stuff that I saw, it seemed that it might have been done pretty well. So, who got time for the watch all this stuff, bro? I don't know. So we gotta pick another one though. But after this, we've officially started. It's twice in the physical, but sliced to the head, and Jason's dream where he finds him headless. I don't know if you're making stuff up or nobody said that yet. Some people was talking about the context of the situation. It just really comes with depends. They said that Jason can only be drowned, and the other one, Michael Myers, is decapitated. I think that's what somebody said. Let me see. Somebody definitely said that. No, I don't know where it went. So we definitely made it. I'm gonna try to. We got another hour of this movie. We got another hour of this movie. It's very simple though. These days, they're just doing what they can with what they got. Doing what they can with what they got. So, well, I'm gonna do the back. I'm gonna do the last hour of this and recap that.